Then in hip hop, another album review we got coming. But before we get started with the album review, definitely go check out Then in Hip Hop's Instagram. You guys always want to know what we're going to review. We'll post it on there. So follow Then in Hip Hop on Instagram. Follow me personally on Instagram, FIFO247. Follow Ken at KBInge. Follow BZ430. Follow Mike C-Town. And hashtag Modest Media to Instagram. We need to get the brother on there now. Check out Mike C-Town's YouTube channel. Got a lot of dope shit over there. He covers a whole bunch of stuff that we don't cover on this channel. Also check out BZ Got Beats. He does reviews on beat tapes. So going into the review, we got CunninLynguists, Strange Journey Volume 3. This is actually my first introduction to CunninLynguists. I still haven't checked out Etymology myself. Yeah, I know. Look, Mike. But here's the thing. At least on this project, when I listened to it, it wasn't necessarily my cup of tea. I didn't love it. It didn't like, oh my God, I have to listen to this again. By no way, shape, or form calling these dudes whack, because all of this whole project is pretty dope. Like, you have lyricists, you have dope beats, they're airy, spacey, and it's dope. It definitely made it into my rotation. I don't think it was a bad song, but I don't know, like it made me feel a little weird, I guess, just a little bit drunk dial.
Drunk dial?
Yeah, man, when he was talking. Yeah, when he was talking about sending.
When he sent him the wrong pic.
Yeah.
Pic.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay, that, you know, I've never had that experience, but it just made me feel some type of way. I don't know. It just made me feel some type of way. You feel some type of way when they do sex acts in skits on albums. That just made me feel like I didn't need to.
You, huh?
No, not at all.
Yeah, you're not really feeling that.
No.
Not into dip pics.
You never got something you accidentally, you know.
No, never.
Yeah, that's it. That's the shit.
I did have some standout joints though. The Morning with Blue and who the fuck is that song? Yeah, Psalm 1. That was dope to me. Castles, A$AP Rock. That shit was dope to me. Beyond the Sun. That was pretty dope to me too. Like there's a lot of dope stuff, but nothing really just was like, yo, this is like super. Nothing just like it. It's one of them albums that for me, if it comes on in a shuffle or whatever, I'll listen to it, but I don't think I'm really gonna go back to this. Oh, and South California, that was really dope too. That was another one of my favorites, but I'm not in love with it. I'm not in love with it. It's not for me, but I do have to give props where they're due. Production is on point. All of the features, I don't think that you know, none of the features I would have necessarily taken off. It was a very, 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 very good project. It's just not necessarily my type of hip hop that I'm into, so I'm not in love with it. I'm just kind of about it. So, you know, it is what it is.
I think this was, I remember when they first made the announcement, I thought this was going to be an interesting album because it was crowdsourced. And what they wanted to do was kind of help the fans pick the features and really kind of help them, you know, put it together. So I thought that was going to be an interesting, unique approach to putting out an album. So I was really curious to hear it and hear how it sounds, and curious to see who actually makes the cut. When I listen to it, it's definitely within, you know, range of what they've done, man. It's consistent. You know, No Again, man, just, you know, again with the production, man, is solid, man, and he gives you like, you know, those kind of slow melodic type beats, and then he'll come with something like, I can't remember the track, but the one boom, 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 boom. Tuba.
I just think that was bouncing ball.
But then he'll come with something like that is, yeah, like you said, is a little bit bouncy, so he's able to kind of, you know, various production on this one. And I've listened to this a lot because I'm trying to kind of piece together a little bit of kind of what it is that they're kind of going for, because, you know, you have the intro, you know, of saying, hey, you're gonna go to Earth and I want you to go here and, you know, find evidence of this life. And they get here and, you know, they kind of going around and they start wilding out, you know, and then you have the drunk dial, and that sequence of songs from the drunk dial, the Southern California, the drunk dial, and then, you know, the Morning. And then, you know, what is it? Is it Misery 3000? Let me look.
You talking about Miley 3000?
Miley 3000 come back on. And
that shit was funny.
Yeah, it was.
I want to pop my pussy for a real thing.
So it's funny because she come back on, it's like she's kind of adopted a lot of that. She was like, you know, like, you guys are supposed to be here doing this, but you doing that. It's like, you know, what's going on? So then to me, it's supposed to shift somewhere else. And I think that was the part that I couldn't quite put together or piece together, because the rest of the storyline or however they were going with it. But overall, man, I think it's definitely a solid project by them, and, you know, to add into the already, you know, tough solid catalog that they have, man, with, you know, with CunninLynguists, man. Strange Journey 1 and 2 and now 3, Wonderology and Dirty Acres. You know, they have some solid, dope-ass projects out, and I think you can just add this to the discography. Like you, I didn't really have a standout track, like a Yellow Lines or something like that. I didn't really have or Hard As They Come on Wonderology, but I didn't really have a standout track on it. Some of the beats stick out a little bit more to me when they come on, with some of the singles a little bit more than some of the other tracks because I heard them more. But overall, man, it was solid, man. I appreciate it. I enjoyed it.
Because Mike put me up on these dudes actually when we went and saw their show at him and Homeboy Sandman, and I had listened to Wonderology, and I was like, oh, this shit was a good ass album. So, you know, since then, you know, I always been interested in seeing what they was gonna put out next. So I didn't want to go in with super high expectations coming off Wonderology, so I'm like, okay. And it's funny, we just had a conversation about features, and then like this album's like
every song
filled with features. So I'm like, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this, if I'm gonna like it, you know. But I'm kind of glad that at least the features, you know, that was on this album, they kind of stayed within the concept of each song. Like it wasn't like this dude's going in just ripping, just go off ripping. Because when I saw the features, I'm like, okay, yeah, you got Blue. I think Psalms 1 was like one of my standout features on there. Tone Deaf at the last track, yeah, Greaves. But yeah, I was like FIFA. I'm like, Drunk Dial. Even though it's funny, it's a cool song. But it was like, I don't know if I want to hear my, you know.
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah, I know.
It didn't bother me.
It was cool, but I was like, yeah.
It's like I could do without.
Right,
just because he was talking about the dick
I
pic?
don't know. Just because he said I had a mental
The concept
picture.
was funny though.
Like as soon as he said, I was like, oh hell no, I don't.
No, the concept of it was funny. I mean, the concept, and like I said, they stayed within the concept of that song, which was cool. So yeah, and like you said, yeah, Noah on the production, it's crazy how he can vary his production style. So he's so great, and you know, make the transition throughout the whole album, you know, feel so smooth on here. So I thought it was cool. I didn't really like I know you liked it. I didn't even care for the little Miley Cyrus little thing.
I didn't say I liked that.
Oh, I thought you said it was. Well, you said
it was funny, but I could have.
Yeah,
You didn't think it was funny?
I was like, X that off. Like, why the hell they put that on there? I ain't think it was funny.
They can have a little sense of humor.
Yeah, they can. They can. No, they can be.
Detroit.
No, they can be funny. It's cool. It
just wasn't funny.
That's funny. Yeah, it was fine. I thought A$AP Rocky was another standout feature on here too. I thought this project as a whole was good. Just like you, I didn't have nothing that was like, okay, yeah, this is my favorite track or this is my standout track. Everything on here sounded really solid. Everything was really good. You know, of course, I'm not gonna compare it to Wonderology because like Wonderology is whole nother album. I don't want to go in there thinking I'm gonna get another Wonderology album because, like I said, Noah was so good at production. He made it to make it not give you that feel. So, and I like that spaced out melodic type of production on here. And they fit. Natty and Deacon, they did it well, man, on this whole project. And the features, everybody did their thing. So I thought this was a solid project. No standout tracks, but I thought overall it was good. It was good. So shout out to CunninLynguists.
Y'all are tripping, man. This is the best album I've heard all year. Easy. This is the best album I've heard all year. I mean, this is the album that makes me repeatedly say that this is one of the most underrated hip hop groups in the game, period. Like, why these guys are not heralded as, I mean, fuck, man, like, just on production alone, No is a genius. Like, his beats are phenomenal. Every single beat. There was not a beat on here where I was like, that's an alright beat. Every beat, I'm like, Jesus. They're dense, they're layered, they're just, and you're talking about Drunk Dial. When I listen to that song, if you listen to the beat, like in reference to the context, it's almost crazy because the beat is goofy, the track is goofy, the rhyme, like it's just crazy how they max this stuff up. And Deacon and Natty, like, okay, so when I didn't hear anything about this album until it dropped. Like, Adam,
so you just dropped.
I didn't hear shit about it. Nah, Adam hit me up one morning. It was like, yo, did you know CunninLynguists dropped an album today? I was like, what?
Oh, you didn't know they were working on an album at all?
Nah, I mean, I don't get on Twitter like that no more. I mean, unless I'm just responding to my own shit. When I first looked at this, I was like, okay, these features are bananas. Dell, Murs, Greaves, Blue, fucking Master Ace. That's the one that threw me off.
I forgot about the four.
Self-Titled and Apathy. And then you got A$AP Rock and Sadistic. So that was what really interested me about this project. And they started off perfect. Dell fucking killed that verse. He sounded so goddamn good. He sounded so good. This is the Dell that I fell in love with fucking 15 years ago. you know, and just from there it just went up. Like there was not a single track that I didn't like. Psalm 1's verse was monstrous, monstrous, and Blue sounds invigorated again.
He does.
You know what I mean? Like this, he doesn't even sound like he sounded like the last couple of features. Like he's been sounding lazy, laid back, just kind of too smooth to rap. Not no more. Like on this track, this sounds like before Below the Heavens Blue. Like this sounds like that Hungry Blue. But y'all talking about you don't have any standout tracks. Man, my standout track easily was Castles. Y'all should really listen to that track again and just, and listen to the lyrics and the way it's laid out. Like it's 3 of the strongest verses on the whole album. Like Sadistic's verse, y'all keep talking about Aesop Rock. Sadistic's verse was crazy. Like I review one of his albums. I think Sadistic does not get the credit he deserves. He's a deep ass rapper, and some of the stuff he says, I think it just sounds surface, so it kind of just like whatever. But like he says some shit like that. His whole verse, how it was like about the problems he has with his own life, and then he has a line about it's self-inflicted, don't get it twisted, these knives are in my back, Elliott Smith. And I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But if you know who Elliott Smith is, he killed himself by stabbing himself in the heart with a fucking knife. But he's like, don't get it twisted, these knives are in my back. Like Deacon's verse on there was bananas. Like I'm having spirits in the night. I'm talking to somebody that thinks I saved their life or something like that. Like his verse, all about drugs and how he's doing drugs to not focus on his life. And then Aesop Rock comes in, relating himself to a computer.
Yeah.
But to an old school computer that was really difficult to maneuver. But then it was difficult to maneuver just to do something really simple. Because he says at the end, like, I can't even form a complete fucking sentence. So he's like, I'm a complex person, but at the same time, I can't even do simple shit. Yeah. And it's like, when you listen to that track, like, all 3 of their verses are so deep and dense and dope. And my other standout track, easily, that fucking verbal battle between Natty and Tone Deaf? Holy shit! Are you guys serious? Y'all just glossed over that shit. That track, you said it, but you didn't give enough emphasis. My bad. That track was so dope. Like, Tone Deaf is a beast. And then Natty was just keeping up easy. It was like, I've always loved Natty as a spitter, but he doesn't really do that double time rhyme that much. So I was like, I wonder how this is gonna turn out. Perfect. It was a weird ending to the album. I don't know if that should have been a closer, really.
I thought it was fine as a closer.
I didn't think it was a good closer just because it just seemed like it was just a verbal spar, and that doesn't seem like that was the main focus of the album.
Okay,
that's why it didn't really fit as a closer. But
I loved it.
Beyond that track was crazy, and I like how they do so much deep shit and they have so many deep topics, but then they're real easy to flip up real quick on the apathy and self-titled track and just talk about flexing, just being braggadocious. Man, this album to me is easily the best rap album I've heard this year. These guys are fucking amazing.
So if we did a top 5 mid-year,
this would be number 1.
Number 1, hands down. Not even considering nothing else.
No, because I can't even think of anything else that came out that even blew me away like that. The Isaiah Rashad I thought was great, but right now nothing is touching this album. Just because I think that these guys are such a perfect match. No's production is amazing. Deacon is a deep-ass lyricist. Natty is a deep-ass lyricist. These guys coming together is perfect. And all of these features, they all fit. Like, nobody sounded whack. Nobody. Everybody did their thing perfectly. So yeah, man, a solid album. I mean, I respect y'all's opinion, but solid?
I just said Noah slept on as a producer. His name rarely comes up when it comes to production, man. You can take the rappers off and still listen to this.
Oh yeah, as a beat tape. The beat tape would be
still
crazy.
Listen to it, man.
But that's how Illy is, man, as a producer.
You talk about Wonderology and you not having high expectations. I had high expectations for this. The second album told me, I was like, oh, I gotta go listen to this because Wonderology I think was a beautiful album.
No, I did. Yeah, I'm saying I didn't want to say, you know how you listen to an album that's so good and you be like, damn, I don't want to be so have high expectations and be disappointed or whatever. So
that's natural. Really? That's natural when someone puts out an album that's that good.
But I guess the reason why, because they had so many features on this one, and you know the last one.
You have issue with features.
No, I don't have an issue. I'm just saying.
You just don't like when there's a lot of them, though. Is what you said before.
Yeah,
you don't like when there's too much.
Yeah, but I mean, this one, like I said, it worked because everybody stayed in the concept of the album. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, okay, what are he talking about?
Yeah, right.
What are he talking about? What, you know, they stayed. Everybody did. So
Which is really interesting because of how the features were chosen.
Right.
And then they were able to get everybody to, stay within
Is that the
custom.
audience thing too?
Yeah,
I
the
heard that
A&R
too,
thing,
that
yeah.
The audience picked who was going to be on the album.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
For me coming off Wonderology, they only had Crit and Gibbs on there.
Gibbs on there.
So it's it was just like, okay, I never listened to anything before that, so I didn't know if this was normal or like have they had a lot of projects with a lot of features before. So that's why I was
Overall, man, like this is a really good project. Like I said, it's in the rotation. Am I gonna be like, I have to go listen to this? No, not really. But there are tracks on here I'll probably go back and revisit. It's definitely not my number one right now. But it's cool. I like it. It's not whack. It's not whack at all. You know what I'm saying? It definitely bumps in the whip. No, I didn't know the producer's name, but yes, the production on this thing, you could just it's a treat. It's an audible treat. You could just listen to the beats and be fine with it. Bump this shit in the whip, man. Go listen to it. Make an informed decision. Don't always listen to exactly what we say. We don't have all the damn answers. Well, Mike thinks he does, but I know I don't. But just take what I say, man, and make your own damn decision. Bump into the whip, though.
I'm glad we reviewed this album because Mike is absolutely right. CunninLynguists is extremely they are slept on in hip hop. Noah's slept on as a producer. Whenever they drop an album, I look forward to hearing what Noah does with the beats. I mean, the way he puts together bass lines, man, and it's just amazing to me. It's just, and they never sound the same. Like it's dark and melodic and everything. So he puts together some very intricate sounding beats that are both soulful and then like on this one bouncy. So a lot of credit goes to him for what he's been doing with them and what he's done on this album, because he really completes the picture of the project that they're trying to put out. I mean, I don't love it as much as Mike, but this is definitely a solid project from CunninLynguists that they put out, man. And just the way that they orchestrated this whole thing by, coming up with this idea and saying, I want you guys to be a part of this process. Strange Journey Volume 3, we'll crowdsource it with the fans, and I want you to help put this together. Who do you guys want to hear us work with? And then for them to reach out to them, bring them in, and like you said, to have them all fit within this album, and for it to sound as solid and cohesive as it does. So support these guys, man, because they're doing a lot of good things in hip hop. Check out everything that they've done, and if you like it, cop it.
You listen to Southern dudes and they have such a different style.
Kentucky and Atlanta.
Such a different style about them, that you like as an MC, and it's like, and you would never guess that they're from the South, really, just how they sound. It's like, and their lyrical content, they so deep. So, shout out to CunninLynguists. Shout out to Mike for putting me up on them for Wonderology in 2011. Been a fan of them since. I probably need to check out and I'm surprised I haven't done it though. I need to check out their previous back catalog, before Wonderology. But that for me, in my book, they're 2 for 2 with a great album, Wonderology, and then with this following up with this good feature project, Strange Journey Volume 3. I loved it, cop it. I enjoyed it. This was my getaway from whenever I didn't listen to Rat King. I was like, go back and listen to CunninLynguists. So, cleanse my ears a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So, but overall, I love this project, man. Glad. I hope we can get a chance to interview them or chop it up with them, man. If they watch this, holla at us, man. We like to.
Deacon said he do it.
You did? Oh, yeah. I'd like to chop it up with them, man, because good group, man. This is a slept-on group.
From beats to lyrics, this is easily my favorite hip hop album. Hip hop, it's a mixtape, really. I mean, this mixtape is 10 times better than the majority of the albums that I've heard this year. Like, it's just amazing to me how, again, like, these guys are so unbelievably slept on. But there ain't nothing else for me to say. This album is phenomenal. So you can go listen to it for free on their Bandcamp. And if you like it, you should please support these guys because they're doing really interesting hip hop. No, being a producer, his beats are just so dense and layered, and they're so different. Like none of them sound like, you have the spacey sound of Strange Universe. Then you have like a folk rock sample in South California. Like all of the beats sound different, like Ken said, but they're all so incredibly layered. And these guys are fucking spitters, man. They're not just giving you some typical bullshit you're gonna hear from the South. They're giving you real shit. So yes, please go listen to this album if you like hip hop. If you like Wonderology, I'll say it. I don't see how you will like this album. So yeah, album of the year. Deal with it.